Dr. Elena Ward had seen many wonders in her 3 years aboard the Harmony Accord, but nothing had prepared her for the grand archive of Thalcareth. The chamber stretched impossibly high, its walls lined with crystalline data cores that pulsed with soft bioluminescence. She stood before the central dais, her portable scanner humming as it catalogued xenobiological samples for the Human-Alien Cultural Exchange Program. "Fascinating," she murmured, adjusting her glasses. "The microbial diversity here is unprecedented," Archon Valir observed from his elevated platform, his forearms clasped in ceremonial posture. As regent of the Thalcareth Dominion, he had overseen countless diplomatic visits, but something about this human unsettled him. Perhaps it was her casual disregard for protocol, or the way she touched sacred relics with bare hands, muttering about contamination controls. "Dr. Ward," Valir's translator rendered his clicking speech into flat English. "You approach the royal crest. That artifact has stood untouched for 8,000 cycles." Elena glanced up at the massive golden structure, a Baroque fusion of crown and circuitry, suspended in a stasis field. "It's beautiful. Is it purely ceremonial, or does it have function?" "Both. It is the symbol of the First Dynasty, the lineage that united the 100 worlds." Valir's mandibles twitched with what might have been amusement. "Legend claims it can recognize royal blood. Superstition, of course." "Of course," Elena agreed, though her scientific curiosity was piqued. She stepped closer, her scanner active. "May I take readings?" "Non-invasive, I promise," Valir gestured assent. What harm could it do? Elena raised her device toward the crest. The moment the scanner's beam touched the artifact, everything changed. The crest woke. Golden light exploded outward, and the stasis field shattered like glass. The artifact descended, rotating slowly as ancient mechanisms groaned to life. Holographic displays erupted around the chamber, flooding the air with alien script that even Valir's translator struggled to parse. "Impossible," Valir breathed, his diplomatic composure cracking. "The crest has been dormant since the fall of the First Dynasty. Nothing has activated it in 3 millennia. Elena stumbled backward, her scanner clattering to the floor. "I didn't do anything. I was just—" The crest rotated toward her with predatory precision. A beam of amber light swept down, bathing Elena in its glow. She froze, every muscle locked as the device scanned her at the molecular level. The sensation was neither painful nor pleasant, simply absolute, as though the universe itself was taking inventory of her existence. Then came the voice. It spoke in a language older than stellar cartography, echoing through the chamber with crystalline clarity. The translator struggled, spitting fragments. "Genetic sequence confirmed, match identified, origin Earth." "Earth?" Valir leaned forward, his secondary eyes widening. "That primitive world in Sector 447? That makes no sense." The holographic displays coalesced into a single, massive declaration that hung in the air like judgment itself. "Origin, Earth genetic marker, Dynasty Prime Authority. Absolute status, Imperial heir recognized." Silence crashed down upon the archive. Elena's mind raced. There must be some mistake. "I'm human. My ancestors never left Earth until 300 years ago. We barely made it past our own moon before the Accord found us." "Mistakes," Valir said slowly, "do not happen with Dynasty technology." His voice carried an edge of something Elena couldn't identify, fear perhaps, or reverence. "The Crest's authentication protocols are quantum-locked. It reads probability across 11 dimensions. If it recognizes you," he trailed off, unwilling to complete the thought. The crest descended further until it hovered directly before Elena. Delicate golden tendrils extended, weaving through the air around her head like a living crown. She wanted to run, but her legs refused to obey. The artifact was waiting for something. "What does it want?" Elena whispered. "Acceptance," Valir replied. "The crest offers itself to its rightful bearer. But this is madness. The Dynasty bloodline was wiped out when the homeworld burned. Every genetic record was destroyed in the Purge Wars. There are no surviving heirs. Unless," Elena said, her scientist's mind grasping for logic and chaos, "unless some survived. Unless they ran." The implications hit her like a meteor strike. Oh God, what if they didn't just survive? What if they ceded? Valir's translator caught up with the ancient language still scrolling across the displays. His voice emerged hollow. "The Crest's records indicate..." A contingency protocol. When the dynasty fell, a seed ship was launched. Destination unknown. Crew complement 2000. Mission parameters: survive, multiply, forget. Helena's voice cracked. A genetic lock, Velier explained, accessing his own databanks with desperate speed. The refugees' descendants would carry the bloodline, but no memory, no knowledge. They would be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the day when... He gestured helplessly at the Crest. When one of them returned to Dynasty space, Helena finished. Her hands were shaking. That seed ship. It went to Earth. 47,000 years ago, Velier read from the ancient records. Before your species developed writing, before civilization, they integrated with the native population, and their descendants forgot they had ever been anything but human. The Crest pulsed with impatient light. Helena reached up slowly, her fingers trembling as they touched the golden tendrils. The moment contact was made, warmth flooded through her. The Crest settled onto her head. Not heavy, but present, real, right in a way that defied explanation. The holographic displays exploded with new information. Star charts, military protocols, economic data spanning 8,000 years. The entire inheritance of a fallen empire, pouring into her consciousness through neural interfaces she hadn't known she possessed. Helena gasped, her knees buckling. Velier caught her, his strong arms preventing her fall. "What have I done?" she whispered. "You," Velier said, his voice thick with implications, "have just inherited the legal authority over 347 worlds, including Thalcareth. You are, by every law we recognize, the supreme sovereign of the dynasty restored." Helena looked up at him, the crest gleaming on her brow, and laughed, a sound edged with hysteria. "I'm a xenobiologist from Chicago. I came here to study algae." "You came here," Velier corrected gently, "and became an empress. Across the galaxy, in chambers both grand and hidden, ancient systems began to wake. Dormant protocols activated, sleeper agents stirred, and in the political centers of 100 alien civilizations, panic began to spread as a single message propagated through the quantum network. The dynasty endures, the heir has returned, Earth rises. Dr. Elena Ward, standing in an alien archive 3,000 light-years from home, felt the weight of 8,000 years of history settle onto her shoulders, and somewhere, deep in her DNA, in sequences that had waited, patiently through countless generations, ancient programming whispered, "Welcome home."